Okay, I was watching the video a little bit that Braden did. I am going to do a little bit, some couple things different than what he did in his video for the Punisher. It is good to be able to watch the video and think about different things. But for one thing, he had epoxied it in normally. This epoxy, I always typically use some heavy duty Kevlar that's long enough to get out the end of the body tube because then I can attach to that point and I don't expect the Kevlar inside to ever fail. I expect something outside to fail if it's going to. The other thing I'm going to do is probably leave a little space above the fins and below the fins where the centering rings are and actually inject some epoxy into there. And part of the reason is basically there's not much actually transferring the thrust of the motor, and when you start talking an L inside of here, not much transferring the thrust from the motor tube itself to the body tube other than a little bit of epoxy around the top, whatever was put in there. A little bit along the base of the fins, which you noted doesn't really do much. It's really more the fillet that holds it to the body tube, but nothing really transfers the motor tube to the body tube. And I'll probably pour some more down in here so that I get probably half inch maybe, or some quantity of epoxy where it's really a solid connection between the motor tube and the body tube, because I do plan on putting an L in this and flying it to K, some hard K's and some L's. So anyway, that's one change there. I also filed down or sanded down the little taper at the bottom, and part of that is so that when I put this in here and I inject epoxy in, I can inject it probably in one hole and it actually will flow around to the other parts of that. So theoretically I can do one hole. I'll be able to, I hope, pour epoxy, inject epoxy top and bottom through the one hole, but it leaves enough space that it will flow around the fins on the bottom as well as around the fins on the top. So that's the main difference. I've made some of the Mad Cow version of this 54 in a 65 millimeter case before, and I've flown a K700 on it. I haven't flown an L in it yet. We'll have to try an L in this one. So anyhow, that's about the only change I can see here. I will eventually use a jig for holding the fins in place to epoxy them on, and I got a lot to do before 2 days from now, Saturday launch. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks. Bye.